Marcus Smart was back out on the court at Celtics practice today, participating in things that looked a lot like basketball activities to me. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Scott Souza at the Auerbach Center. Marcus Smart was driving to the hoop, taking a little bit of contact from personnel on the Celtics team. So it looks like he's making good strides in his recovery. What did you see from him today?
Well, we saw him do more than he's done so far. And, clearly we saw him shooting a couple of weeks ago, as much as a week and a half ago, shooting off of one leg. Then he was taking jump shots. Today he was driving to the basket. He was moving around the arc and the three-pointers, shooting the ball off the dribble, off the catch and shoot. So clearly even he admitted that today was, in fact, basketball activities. And originally the timetable was 4 to 6 weeks before his return to basketball activities. He's beaten that timetable already. Would not give us a timetable for return. You almost kind of half expected him to walk over and say, I'm hoping to go in games 3 or 4. He wouldn't give us that much. He got a little pep talk from media relations and the training staff before he came over. But he's clearly getting closer, and if the Celtics can extend this series, which presumably they hope to be able to get into at least 6 or 7 games, I think we could see Marcus Smart in this series.
Absolutely, and Smart was saying when he was watching Game 2 in Milwaukee, he got so frustrated. He said he was heated during that third quarter run that Milwaukee went on. He wanted to be out on the court, and certainly they needed him after that, 31-5 run that the Bucks went on. So Marcus Smart returning to the series would do a ton, not only for his morale, the city's morale, but this series is a close one, and they really need him out there.
Yeah, and I think that the defensive intensity is something that Brad Stevens kind of mentioned today. He was talking about Chris Middleton and all of his three-pointers the other day. And some of those three-pointers for Chris Middleton, Brad Stevens said, would tip your cap three-pointers, hats off three-pointers. Sometimes, players are going to make those, teams are going to get hot, especially on their home court. It's the ones where they're wide open. It's the ones where the closeouts, that second or two late, those are the ones that make the difference. That's the difference between allowing somebody to maybe get hot and hit a couple of shots or allowing them to feel comfortable and really get in their zone. And that's what Milwaukee was able to do in Game 2.
And obviously the big news out of Boston today is Danny Ainge suffering a heart attack before Game 2 in Milwaukee on Tuesday night. He is expected to make a full recovery, but Marcus Smart is one of the players who noted that Ainge has been so impactful during his time in Boston, saying he frequently reaches out to his family. He's someone he had day-to-day contact with, and obviously he sends his best regards to Ainge. But do you think that this incident with Ainge that is much bigger than basketball is going to help propel the Celtics to a better performance, at least in Game 3?
I don't know that they're necessarily going to want to win one for Danny. I think they're going to want to win one for the team, and I think Danny would want that to be the case. But there was clearly, an area of concern. Everybody's very positive here. Anytime you hear a heart attack, and Danny Ainge has had a history of heart trouble. About 10 years ago, he had a stent placed inside of his heart, and we heard it was actually after a playoff practice back in 2009, I believe, that he has had heart issues in the past. So today didn't come as a total surprise, but Brad Stevens said as scary as it is, there's a good support staff there. He has a positive outlook, and he is expected back in Boston within the next couple of days. And as you mentioned, Marcus Smart and Danny Ainge have a particularly close, I think, relationship in terms of Marcus Smart really being the first player that Danny Ainge drafted in this next reboot of the Celtics rebuild. When he drafted him at the beginning of the Brad Stevens era, Brad Stevens' his first draft pick. And then, of course, with Marcus and his mother passing away of cancer, Danny Ainge was very close to him during that. Went out to the funeral in Texas along with some Celtics personnel and some teammates. So they've been very close over the years, and you could tell that Marcus Smart's words about Danny Ainge were heartfelt today.
We definitely send our best wishes for a speedy recovery to Danny Ainge, but back to Marcus Smart. There is no timetable, as we mentioned before, on his return, but he does seem to be making continuous improvements in his recovery. Again, driving to the hoop today, taking minimal contact. So we will continue to give you updates on his condition going forward on CLNSmedia.com and on our YouTube at CLNS Media.